Hi there, today we are going to look at how to add some advanced functions to our dance simulation. Now you can see that I'm starting from the same place I left off in the last video. So we've got a sequence of dance instructions already on our sprite, and we've already got our sound effect set up. So when I hit space, the sound will play and the sequence of dance moves will happen. Now in the lessons, we're challenging you to come up with a dance sequence of about 30 seconds and start adding in some repeats to make it an easier sequence to program. The first thing we're going to do is get the sound effect playing for around 30 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag a repeat loop in around this, and because this is 4 seconds, this of course is 40 seconds now. I don't really want that. If we do 8, that should be 32 seconds, and that's about right. Okay, you're never going to get it quite precisely exactly on 30. So here, if I hit space, it's going to play for a little bit over 30 seconds. So we've got that bit sorted. Now we've got to come over here and look at how we can add more dance sequence to make it 30 seconds. That could be very easy and just copy all of this again, duplicate it, and make a very long program. That's going to be difficult to read and actually see on the screen. So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to be looking for is some patterns in my program to see if I can repeat them. And if you look here, I've got a little sequence here where I pop down, pop front, pop down, and pop front. And I repeat that twice. So what I could do is I can take this little bit out. I can find a repeat. And maybe I can repeat that maybe twice. And what I've done there is the program actually hasn't changed. It's still going to run exactly the same way. I've just simplified it because I'm just repeating this bit twice. I could look down here. This is pop left, pop right, pop left, and pop right. Again, I can do the same thing again. I can take my pop left and pop right. I'm going to get rid of that because I don't need it. Get my repeat, put this around it, and so I'm going to repeat it twice. And so now, even though the program looks shorter, it's exactly the same program. I'm just using repeats to make it possible. I could, of course, add more in it and it'll repeat it more times. So what I now need to work out is how to make this 30 seconds. And what I need to be looking at is the weights. So all the weights in the program should add up to roughly 30 seconds. And then it should, the sequence will go all the way through and it should stop at roughly the same time as the music. The switching happens so quickly, it's not worth counting. So I'm going to pause there, get it all set up, and show you what it should look like in the end. So after a little bit of working things out and adding up the weights, I've now got a sequence that's 30 seconds. I'm not going to play it here now because, of course, it takes 30 seconds to run. But what I've got here, I've got this little section that runs 5 times, so that's 5 seconds. I've got this little section here that runs 5 times, and so that's 5 seconds. I've got another section here that runs 5 times, so this is 5 seconds. And then I repeat the whole thing twice because this, and this adds up to 15 seconds. And I double it and it works fine. Something else we can do now to further improve our little dance is to add some backup dancers. So what I can do here is I can go back to my sprites. I could choose another character. So I'm going to choose this person here. I'm going to have to shrink them down a bit. So I'm going to make them about 50 to put them at the back. And then what I can do is, within this one, I want to keep a really, really simple repeated sequence. So I'm going to make sure it happens just for 30 seconds. I'm going to pull on my space key press because we have to have it start the same way. I'm going to go to looks. And I'm going to just choose a couple of simple shots. And we've got this one. So if I can do this, so it's very simple, 2 moves. I'm going to switch between it every half a second. Zoom in a bit there so we can see what's going on. And then I'm going to repeat it. Again, this is where the math comes in. That's 1 second's worth, so I need to repeat it 30 times. And then if I hit the space bar, this will have it for 30 seconds and it's going to just flick between these 2 things. I'm just going to hit the space bar and just play the first part of it. So you can see that this bit is running and this is flicking between those 2 motions. I am going to click stop because I don't need to run through the whole thing. But if I want a second sprite, I want 2 backup dancers. If I right click, click duplicate, I have a second one, I can place it there. code is duplicated as well. And if I hit the go button, the space bar even, so you can see just by adding some repeats, you can create a much longer dance sequence without necessarily adding tons and tons of extra switch costume blocks. Hopefully that's enough now for you to get started, and I'm sure I would look forward to seeing what you create.